It's another week, so it's time for another edition of 3 Point Stance presented by Mountain Dew. John Roser's at the end of the video call. And Roser, we got some stuff to talk about because this week, just some breaking news that just happened. I'm sure everyone's going to be talking about still even this morning. Rob Gronkowski. So it's been told by Adam Schefter that Patriots are trading Gronkowski and 7th-round pick to Bucs for 4th-rounder pending a physical. Take me back. Just give me your whole stance on this news when you saw it.
I guess I shouldn't be shocked. I think people figured Gronk was good. It makes me think actually that Tom Brady probably had told Gronk this before. Like, hey, if you want to take the year off in New England, you're off because come back and you're the guy I want to play with. When they were talking about trading him to Detroit before the final season he had with New England, and Gronk told them, I will retire. Tom's the only quarterback I'm playing with. So that was the season going into when they won their last Super Bowl that that New England did. So I guess to say it doesn't surprise me that much.
It's crazy that you're already used to saying Tampa now. I'm still trying to get over saying the Patriots right now. But you think that this was talked about over a year ago. I don't know. So Gronkowski did an interview with Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, and he was asked about would he ever come back, and he said, I don't know. And that's something that we haven't been so used to hearing him say. He's always been a definitely no. His brother said he'd be surprised if he came back. But I really do think there's some discussion, especially in this last month or so, because he said the main reason why he walked away was because he started to lose the passion for it. And I think maybe he started getting that passion again, especially, you watch a Super Bowl and you see, everyone celebrate. Then you see Tom Brady go through his whole, shopping around, always going to Tampa. Hey, we know Gronk loves the beach. He likes Florida. We've seen him there before partying. Maybe I can get one more year out of it. And if it's possibly guaranteed a ring, I'm not going to predict who's going to win the Super Bowl just yet, but Tampa Bay Bucks are looking pretty good right now. When it first broke out, my mouth dropped wide open. I was just like, no way. No.
Yeah, it was a shocker. It definitely was a shocker. What did you think about it, Cash? What did you think?
I forgot.
You were stunned too, weren't you? You were stunned too.
We have a live audience today.
Yeah, we got a little guest here. This is Cash, and he's got the worst breath in the world, and he's trying to lick me. So I'm going to set him aside right now.
I don't know how dogs do with Mountain Dew or not. Don't let him drink the Mountain Dew just yet.
No, I think an entire Mountain Dew, that'd be way too much sugar for that little dude. He's not getting the Mountain Dew. No, it was shocking because of how it happened. I'm just sitting here, and all of a sudden, boom, my phone just starts blowing up about Gronk, and yeah, it was. It's definitely surprising. I guess it was going to happen. It'd have to be done right before the draft, like it did, so you could trade. You can get draft picks involved because the 7th rounder is going to Tampa and a 4th rounder is going to New England. I am surprised that. I thought New England probably could have gotten more.
Oh, for Gronk.
Yeah, because then if it's like, okay, well, if we can't get what we want, then fine. Guess you're just not going to play. But New England also gets some cap relief here too.
Right. I mean, do you think Bucks are they looking even better to you? Even, we haven't seen the draft just yet, how everything's going to play out, but you kind of know some of that roster already.
Yeah, I don't know how great Gronk is going to be anymore. Remember the last time we saw him, he was in that Super Bowl. He made the big catch of the Super Bowl that helps seal everything for him. And he's going to be an elite blocker. If he's not the best blocking tight end in the game now, that would be George Kittle, but he may come back and he might be the best blocking tight end still in the NFL. So he'll always be able to do that, and he's not going to have to shoulder as much of the load on offense because you've got Mike Evans, you've got Godwin there, you've got OJ Howard, also another tight end, and they can run those 2 tight end sets too. So there's a lot of weapons for Brady in Tampa. And so I would think after all this, I would think they're probably going to be placed as the favorites in the NFC. They will be placed ahead of the 49ers, ahead of the Saints, ahead of the Seahawks. The Eagles have had a pretty quiet. They've had a pretty nice offseason too. The Eagles are going to be up there as one of the favorites too.
So, all this news is coming out right before the big weekend on Thursday, the NFL draft. We're going to get a virtual NFL draft. We'll see how all this plays out and how all the teams will shape out and who they pick. What are you looking forward to the most with this year's NFL draft?
everything. The fact it's like a live sporting event, a live sporting event. We have not had a live sporting event. It feels like it's so long, a live American sporting event. That is really what I'm looking forward to. And I know there's probably going to be, with how they're doing it, it's going to be a debacle at times. But, my team has 2 first-round picks. So I'm excited to see. I think we're going to end up trading back in both cases. In both instances, I think we're going to trade back from 13 to a little bit in the middle of the first round. I think we'll trade 31 and pick up a couple more picks too. But aside from that, it's just live sports. And this is when the NFL draft was supposed to happen, and coronavirus is not stopping it from happening either. And so that's what I am most excited for. As Dende joined, it looks like we see Dende here.
I know.
Yeah, Dende's also joined us too.
He was liking the conversation. He was liking where you're going with it a little bit there. He popped on in there.
Dende's excited too. He's been running around in the backyard, so he's a little tired. I expect him to be asleep here in about probably 20 minutes. He'll crash out here in just a few minutes, but he's pumped too. Dende's ready for the NFL draft on Thursday.
You know what? You said it. You said it best. It's going to be a cluster. It's something that we haven't seen. We're coming off of the WNBA having their draft the weekend, before, and doing the whole virtual thing. This is going to be a lot different because it's a bigger draft. There's a lot more picks. There's a lot more rounds.
It will last 3 days. I held up 4 there. That's not the number. It's 3 days. The NFL draft lasts 3 days.
This is going to be something very interesting to see how, the teams and, commissioners and the GM kind of is able to work. A couple of GMs have already posted their pictures of their homes, of IT setting up like 5 monitors, 3 different laptops, a phone that's going to have so many different lines. It's going to be something very interesting. I cannot wait to see what this looks like. They said the first test went very well. They're still testing it out. It's going to be a mess, but I think it's going to be very interesting. And I think there's going to be a lot more viewers watching this year, as you mentioned, that we haven't had sports, but everyone's interested to see, we're all coming together, and how this can also shape out when people are home. Roger Goodell already said you can still boo me. He still wants to get booed. They partner with Bud Light. For every hashtag boo the commish, Bud Light will donate $1 up to $500,000 to charity. So he still wants to feel your presence on the booing. That's how, they're trying to make it feel real. And so I wonder how real it's going to feel, but it's going to be an exciting time. It's something that's never been done before, obviously, because we've never been in the situation before as, a country in the world, but it's going to be good. And I do wonder, I've heard a couple of podcasts talk about this is a time where, it's been so hard. We haven't had a lot of the workouts. We haven't been able to see a lot of the players work out. So it's like, making the mistakes, picking people, some people higher or, lower than they should go, some things, slipping. Mock drafts could be kind of off. We really just don't know. So it's going to be entertaining.
I'm with you on the mock drafts and seeing teams, their big boards on what they look like. Because that is how a lot of mocks go, and because a lot of these draft analysts haven't been able to really constantly stay in contact with them because of all this going on. I brought up on the odds couple, which dropped yesterday. I brought up on the odds couple that I actually think it'll help keep some of these GMs from making as many mistakes as they do in the past, because you're really just going on film. You're watching these guys, their film from college, and saying, okay, who was awesome? Who was the guy? Like, let's watch him on film. And that's really what you see, because you're watching game tape. You're watching how this guy plays in a game. And I think sometimes GMs, coaches, I think they do forget that sometimes when they go through this drafting process.
Before we move on from the NFL draft, obviously everyone's talking about Joe Burrow going number 1. I know that you agree, and you just mentioned that you think that this will help GMs. How do you think that this will affect Tua, though? He had that hip injury.
Tua still should be, to me, the second quarterback taken in the draft. I know Justin Herbert's probably going top 10, and I think he's now the favorite, the Vegas favorite, to go as the second quarterback. I mean, the last 2 games we saw Justin Herbert play, the Rose Bowl, he had 3 touchdowns, but they were all rushing touchdowns. That's not his future as an NFL quarterback, is going to be a guy who rushes in touchdowns. His last 2 games we saw him play, the Pac-12 championship game, he threw for 170-something yards, 160-something yards, and had 1 touchdown. It was the running back that the Cordell or whatever, who had over 200 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. He's the reason they won the Pac-12 title game. They just lined up and killed Utah. And then the Rose Bowl, he threw for 130 yards and an interception. Like, I don't get why this guy is jumping so high to the it almost reminds me of like Daniel Jones last year. And who knows, Daniel Jones may end up being a really good player. But it was like Daniel Jones was thought of as like a borderline first-round pick, maybe. To then, well, the Giants may use they'll use their later first round pick on Daniel Jones too. Well, the Redskins may like Daniel Jones at 13, 14, 15, wherever they picked last year, to the Giants taking him at 6th overall. It is like, to me, I said this on the Chris Vernon show, and he also brought this up. He does not get the Herbert thing either. But this is what I'll say for Justin Herbert. You're drafting Justin Herbert. You're drafting a backup quarterback. If you want to use a top 10 pick on a backup quarterback, so be it. Mm-hmm. But I would.
Now listen, Roser, you feel very strongly about Justin Herbert. We don't know what he's going to be able to do out there on the field. He might prove us all wrong. And that kind of leads into our next discussion. We've had a couple of days to kind of process The Last Dance. We saw the first 2 episodes on Sunday night. You and I haven't talked about what we got to watch in the episodes to come. And a player that some guys, as we saw in episode 1, didn't think, Jordan was going to be the player that he was going to be. And, which obviously I think was totally wrong. I would have known that. But he proved everybody wrong. I have 2 things I want to ask you about your stance, because first of all is, what did you like so much about the first 2 episodes and looking forward to for the rest of the episodes coming up? And also this has opened up a big discussion about the GOAT conversation, because a lot of people have taken this time to tweet about who is the GOAT. Is it the moment to do that? So I'm going to let you start there.
Michael Jordan's the GOAT. It's the LeBron conversation. It's dumb to me, but like, whatever. People want to have it and it's usually people who never watched him play, who would never watch Jordan play. But to me, if you watch Jordan play in his prime and you've watched LeBron play in his prime, to me, it's not even close. I think you could, to me, you can make a case that there are, to me, it's easier to make the case that LeBron is probably 3 or 4 in the greatest players of all time than it is he's number 1. I think that's way easier to do. As far as like my favorite parts of it, just some of the things that I didn't know. One, I did not know that Dean Smith told Jordan to go pro. I did not know that he was planning on coming back for his senior year to North Carolina, and that Dean Smith told him, look, Michael, you're going to be a top 5 pick. You have to go. And the other one was when Jordan, before game 2 of that Celtics series, when he went nuts and scored over 60, he's playing golf with Danny Ainge, and he told Danny Ainge, telling Danny Ainge about Dennis Johnson, who Dennis Johnson was a 6-time first-team All-NBA defensive player, telling Danny Ainge, hey, tell your boy I got something for him tomorrow night. But I think what I'm looking forward to the most, because Sunday is Dennis Rodman. Yeah. And I think people are going to be, that didn't know Dennis, that didn't watch Dennis Rodman play, I think they are going to be, whoa, like just what a head case that guy was to deal with. And you didn't know what you were getting. He was kind of like the 90s Ron Artest. When Ron Artest came along in the 2000s, and it's like dealing with Ron Artest was like, what? You didn't know what you were getting into. You didn't know what you were going to get each day. You'd show up to the facility with that guy, and Rodman was a lot like that. He's kind of his own guy. So I'm really looking forward to the Rodman stuff on Sunday.
I just, from growing up being a Michael Jordan fan, like I grew up like that. That is my GOAT. I think everyone's GOAT can change for who you kind of grew up watching. Michael Jordan is my GOAT because that's a player that I grew up watching. Is why I love sports. Is why I got into basketball. A couple things I didn't know about Dean Smith either. One, I was way too young to see Michael Jordan. I wasn't even here when Michael Jordan played or was drafted in college. So I wasn't even born yet. So I didn't know that story. Even like Scottie Pippen's story, I didn't know that full background of Scottie Pippen, from his family to growing up with a dad and a brother in a wheelchair at such an early age, and then going to Central Arkansas to be starting off as an equipment manager. To think about that, and like he didn't play in a Power 5 conference. He was in the NIAA playing in basketball, and so like not a lot of people knew his name, and even the contract thing. Like learning so much about that concept of him, and just seeing him, and that's become a huge discussion after episode 2 was Scottie Pippen not getting paid. We knew that he didn't get as much respect for what he did with Michael. And Michael has always said, if you mention Michael, you got to mention Scotty. Like that goes hand in hand. But when it comes to the numbers and ownership and, you know, GM not wanting to pay, that is just the openings. And you know, the fact that we're not even like, we haven't been broken really into the story. Like we haven't even gotten really into that season yet. We're still going over off the past of how we're going into this the Last Dance season. So this is going to be so good. And Dennis Rodman, I remember him being crazy. But you know, if I didn't know that about Scottie Pippen, there's going to be a lot of things.
Well, like one of our buddies that we work with, Devin Walker, he doesn't know this about Dennis Rodman. He's heard stories, but he hasn't seen it really like in this kind of form. And he's going to get to see it. I'm excited for people I am excited for Devin and people that are younger like that you didn't get to see him. And now you are. And that's also what I'm excited for someone like Devin, who also didn't get to see Michael Jordan play and didn't get to see Pippen play. And those people who didn't get to grow up watching them, they are getting to kind of see this now.
Oh, it's going to, and you know, and I know people
what the big deal was with them. They were by far the biggest deal in all of sports was that Bulls team. I will say the only athlete that I've seen in my lifetime that has even come close to the level of fame that Michael Jordan had is Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is the only other person. Tiger Woods at his peak is the only other athlete I've seen where it is that level of popularity around the world.
I think him and LeBron are like, I mean, LeBron
doesn't touch him. LeBron it's not even close.
I mean, you know me. I love Michael too. LeBron it's not there yet, but I see it getting there. Like I see LeBron coming out of
Kobe was bigger worldwide than LeBron.
Kobe was definitely
wide than LeBron.
You're right. Kobe was definitely bigger than LeBron. And I think the difference is with Kobe and even Michael is that they helped get basketball to just not our country. They took it overseas. So like, you know, I think their popularity was just a lot bigger because that was a time that they helped spread the game. They helped spread the game and they made it their mission to spread the game. And that was when you saw other countries and then, you know, them taking basketball and playing there over the summer, doing different tours. You know, we saw that in episode 1 and 2 of, you know, Michael going to Paris and playing. You saw all the fans. You even saw one guy ask for an autograph who was like working. He was like, no, the guy's like, now it's not the time. You can't ask that. And even like the player after losing to Michael and the Bulls, that team asking for his arm sleeve. Like it was just, this has been so good. My Sunday night was so made. I cannot wait for this upcoming Sunday's episode and the next one. It's going to be so good. And it's interesting because Michael said that when you watch this, he said, I'm afraid people aren't going to like me. The first 2 episodes, I love him even more. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, because how he treats teammates at times and how he challenges them and berate them. Yeah, it's going to rub a younger generation the wrong way because they're all in their feelings. It's the Drake generation. Everyone's in their feelings. But like, as Michael Jordan said, he's like, the people that criticize me, well, those are the people that never won anything. So I don't really care what they think.
Well, Rosary, I care what you think, and I appreciate you taking this time to tell me what you think. Give me your stances. I mean, we'll be back same time, same place next week. We'll probably talk about Last Dance again. Probably talk about it for a couple more weeks to come. I can't wait to see your tweets on the draft because you are the person to follow. I know the NFL is like, it has your heart. I hope your team drafts the right people because I don't want you to be heartbroken. It's been a rough couple months for you, so I want to bring you some joy.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for watching this edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew.